You're listening to the Awkward High Five podcast. You can follow along in your book. You'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this.
Let me tell you a story about a little fat boy that nobody loved, and that all the other kids, they used to make fun of him, and they would pick on him, and then they used to say that he talked funny and stuff, and he had a twin brother, and everybody said that he didn't look anything like his twin brother, but he wanted to.
Egg? Were you the little fat boy?
No, but I used to like to beat him up, you know. I'd grab him, I'd go, why are you so fat? Why are you so fat? And I'd beat the shit out of him.
Rosacando.
Right, I keep expecting it.
I know. Welcome to the Awkward High Five podcast, episode, what are we on now, 10?
Yeah, 9 or 10, somewhere around there.
I think it's not, I don't know if it's necessary for us to continue to announce
Number
what
them?
episode it is, especially if one sucks really bad and everything's off.
Right, so we're somewhere, we're approaching 10, I guess.
I think it's 10,
Yeah,
which means that we've done 10 hours of audio,
that's right.
which seems impressive, but I guess it's really not. Dudes who do like radio shows do like 4 hours a day.
Right.
So, I don't know. But they also have guests and all that shit.
Yeah, we can start bringing guests in.
We should look for guests. That's
Yeah.
something we should definitely do.
Like, who wouldn't jump at this opportunity? I would love it if someone asked me to do this.
Who wouldn't jump at this opportunity to be at an unknown podcast that isn't even on the internet yet?
True.
But once we put all the episodes up and we gain our fame and notoriety.
That's right, baby, that's right. I wonder how Bobcat's doing these days. Is he alive?
Oh, are you kidding me? He's Bobcat has directed some of the greatest movies ever
Really?
fucking made. Yeah.
How do you find this shit out?
I like film.
So, like, what has he done?
Have you ever seen God Bless America or World's Greatest Dad or he just did a documentary about the comedian Barry Crimmins called Call Me Lucky, which is amazing. If you're going to watch that, you should watch that. There was one more. World's Greatest Dad. That was with Robin Williams. That was a few years ago. That was fucking awesome. God Bless America might be his best one.
Are they like documentaries?
No, they're movies.
Oh.
He did God Bless America is the lesser known Murray brother. What's his name? Not Brian Doyle Murray, not Bill Murray, obviously, but
Dana Murray.
No, maybe no. I
The
don't
one
think
for
so.
Moving Violations. There's a bump in the road. The apple bounced.
No, I don't know. But it's and him and this girl, and basically what it is they this dude, he's like a middle class dude and with a family and shit, and he just gets fed up with life. It's kind of like a falling down kind of thing. And he just goes around and just starts killing like reality stars and fucking and
awesome.
like politicians and all this shit. And the girl like gets into it and they just go around like murdering people. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I'm missing. I know he did one that I didn't see, which was about like people. I think he did like a horror movie about people in the woods, which I didn't watch or whatever.
Damn.
But if you want to watch any awesome movies, he's an amazing director.
That's awesome. Good for Bobcat.
Yeah, he's fucking kicking it. I think he still does comedy too.
But he just goes by Bob. He's not so much a Bobcat
No,
anymore.
he does Bobcat.
He still does the voice?
Well, no, he doesn't do the whole
Yeah.
character, but he's Bobcat Goldthwait.
Even though he's stuck in that voice for life. Like, sometimes he just talks regular and he can't talk regular. He is the cat.
Well, yeah, his voice comes out even when he's like talking normally.
Like,
or
even in
whatever.
Blow, when he's testing the coke with Johnny Depp and Pee-wee.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that he was in that.
Yeah, he just does that scene where he's like, he sniffs a line real
Oh, and
quick.
Paul Rubens was in that too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What a great scene that is. Pee-wee, Bobcat, and Johnny Depp sniffing coke.
It's pretty good.
That's an ultimate trio.
I feel like that's something that happened on screen and off of screen.
yeah.
So, Rich, I wanted to talk to you about. I've made a few episodes ago. I talked about how I'm going to start trying to live a minimalist lifestyle. It's hard to say that. And I haven't started selling any of my shit yet because I'm not in a place to do that, meaning like I'm literally not in a place to do that as soon as I have my own place again. And then I'm going to sort everything out and start getting rid of all the frivolous shit that I don't need. But what I have been doing is I've been only making purchases I've come to the point where before I make a purchase, I evaluate if it's something that I really need in my life. So therefore, I'm not making any frivolous purchases besides, food and
right.
A beer every once in
Like
a while.
a luxurious purchase.
Well, yeah, or any purchase. I mean, like, I guess even with food, like if I want to like buy like a pint of Ben and Jerry's or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, nah, do I really need this?
That's luxurious.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you don't need. Like
Right,
that kind
right.
of thing. So I did in the first few weeks. I've been doing okay, I recently bought something, and now I want your opinion if this is if you think that this is worth it or not, or I should have bought this, because I'm going to be honest. I'm leaning on I think I failed here.
Is it not so minimum?
All right. So I justified it in the way that I'm a single gentleman, and it's actually been right now, like literally like this day or something, it has been to the year that I left my fiance and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and destroyed that whole thing. And I knew that I was going to take a year to kind of find myself and stuff like that. And I think I did that. I changed myself a lot of different ways and stuff like that. So, but I haven't really done much as far as dating goes in a year. There's been a couple nights and stuff like that. Some ladies that were generous enough to show me a good time every once in a while. But as far as like actually going out there and starting to date or even like trying to pick up. Well, pick up sounds so sleazy, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Like meet women,
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean, and put myself out there. I'm gearing up to do that again. So part of my my year-long sabbatical from life that I've taken has been a big part of it has been to get myself into better physical shape, right?
Right. And you're doing well.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm not concerned.
Okay, good, thank you. So yeah, I think I'm doing okay. I still have a long way to go, but from where I was last year, well, I mean, I guess the thing is, you come at like any dude. You're in a relationship for 5 years.
You don't give a shit.
You're about to get married. You know what I mean? Like you don't give a shit. I wasn't like some fat fuck or whatever. I was still running and like trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. Especially when we were looking down the barrel of the wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was
you
like
wanna
trying
look
to
good
get
in the photos.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But after that, and the getting in shape part isn't so much a thing of like, oh, I want to like get muscly so I could pick up women. It's not that. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of that in there, but
You want to show them that you care about yourself.
I want to show myself that I care about myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
I'm exercising and getting physically in shape for myself first. That is the main thing. I want to feel better when I look in the mirror. I want to feel physically better, like more healthy, all that stuff, which I think I've done. And I'm getting there. But so now, and I think this is...
I don't know where this is leading.
Yeah, I know. You're going to enjoy this because I find it funny. So I've been looking at myself in the mirror lately, right? And I'm not a vanity type dude, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. I really don't care about the way I look for the most part. But something has been bothering me lately, and especially as I've gotten more, as my physique has changed to a more muscular structure. And that
Did you buy a tight Armani shirt?
No, I didn't know. It has nothing to do with clothing.
All right.
But it's something that's bothered me for a while. And it was my amount of back hair.
Okay.
I'm getting older. I'm in my mid-30s now, and it's not that I had like a sweater. It wasn't like I didn't look like fucking some dude from the 80s.
Georgie Animal Steel.
Yeah, George Animal Steel, or what's his name in Dirty Work? Who's the comedian? Dirty
Artie
Work?
Lang.
Artie Lang in Dirty Work, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't look like that. It was just some wispy hair on my back, but and the more and more I looked in the mirror, and the more I looked at it, I just didn't like it anymore. So the other day, I justified buying myself an item that's called a Mangroomer. Have you ever heard of this before?
I never heard of the specific one. I just use an old buzzer and just trim myself up
Well, that's the
with a one clip.
That's the concept, right? So yeah, of course you're going to do some grooming. You know what I mean? Like especially if you're a hairy gentleman, like I know both of us are.
Yeah. Whenever I see a hair sprouting on the back or shoulder, I just hit it with a lighter real quick.
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, I had too many to do that. My back would have been on. My back would have been on. I would have had to actually douse my back on. I would ended up like that fucking monk on the cover of the Rage Against the Machine album.
Real quick, I used to cut this guy's hair, and he told me what he did was he would take rubbing alcohol and put it like inside of his ears and like on his neck and shit and light it on fire and just let it take over and just it would all go in one big piece.
That didn't burn his skin?
It probably did. I didn't see any like burns on him, but I was like, dude, you're fucking nuts.
Now, I have a bachelor's degree in communication, so I am nowhere near a doctor or a physician or anything close. But I'm just going to guess that lighting the inside of your ears on fire is not a good idea.
That's what he did, man. He would put it on a Q-tip and like lace the inside of his ears up with some alcohol and just burn himself down.
They say not even to use Q-tips. They literally tell you don't stick anything in your fucking ear because you're an idiot. No matter who you are, like even Stephen Hawking, if he could, is a fucking idiot. And when he jabs that Q-tip into his ear, he's going to jab his eardrum with it. You know what I mean? And that's the worst.
I love sticking Q-tips.
I can't do
deep.
it.
Ooh,
I can't do
good.
it. So, okay. So, no, I did not light myself on fire.
So, what is it? Like a micro touch? One of those joints?
No. It's a shaver. It's a shaver, but it's made specifically for the back.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it's like a zero clip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or even less. And, it's like maybe like 1.5 inches wide and it comes on like this big, it's
like a selfie stick?
It folds. It folds out. So it's like at half, it's probably like, maybe a foot. And when you fold it out, it's probably like 2 feet. And I think you could extend it to like 3 feet. So you could literally, like if you were like loofing your back or whatever, you could do that with the shaver in order to shave your back.
Okay.
So, all right. So here's my thing. I know it's vain. I know that. But I do with the shaved back now. I've been looking at myself in the mirror for the past couple of days. Feel a lot better about myself.
Good. That's all that counts.
And I feel like and going forward, meeting the ladies in the first romantic encounter and stuff like that is going to make a better impression. And I already do, I guess what people call manscaping, which I hate the word of, but like, I trim things up, you know what I mean? Trim the pits up a little bit, trim the genital area up a little bit, make everything a little bit more presentable. So I see this as an extension of that, but this was
man, if his back is this nice, then his pube region must be suave. They think you got like the comb over.
Wait, check out the back. But the fact being, like I said, is this was my first purchase since my delving into minimalism. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's what broke the door down, the back.
That was it. And I struggled with it. I sat there. I was on Amazon. I was teetering around the click it, buy it now button. You know what I mean? Like fucking sitting there like rolling over it. Like, well, I will feel better about myself, but in the long run, do I really need this? You know what I mean? And doing that shit. And then,
so was that the only thing you were thinking about buying? Because I want to know what was in competition with the back shaver. If there was something else you wanted to buy.
The
back shaver didn't beat anything else out as the.
No, it wasn't like a choice of. I mean, I'll buy whatever I want to buy. It wasn't like I had to buy one or the other of something. It was just that this is something that I thought that I needed and it would make me feel better.
Okay.
But then using my guide of minimalism that I'm trying to use, I had to then justify that to myself. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Because it's a thin line. Like things will make you feel better. Like a fucking luxury sports sedan, it will probably make you feel better only for a few days, and then all of a sudden you're hollow again. But that probably will make you feel better. And that's how people justify making huge things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't need that. You just need a Honda. Or, you know what I mean? You just need a car that runs. You don't need this super look at me, fucking, check me out, all the bells and whistles fucking car. And I know this is on a much smaller level, but that was kind of what I was thinking about.
Right.
Is like, yeah, I mean, this will make me feel better. It'll make me feel more confident when I look in the mirror and when I'm around the women. But do I really need? And the answer is no. You don't really need it. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But I don't know.
I think it was a wise purchase. I really do. I stand behind that purchase. I think it's important to look good. Looking good makes you feel good. But it is better to look good than to feel good.
Okay, I understand. All right, good. Well, I'm glad I got your opinion.
Cool.
Now I don't know. I shaved my back with it and it felt all good. Now I'm just now I'm trying to fucking see how often I'm gonna have to shave my back, and I don't know.
Like once every 2 weeks, probably.
Do you? I'm like I've always been afraid of shaving like the chest and stuff, and I don't shave my chest. It doesn't make any sense to shave your chest. But ever since that Seinfeld episode, you remember that?
Then he gets all itchy and shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but when Kramer keeps telling him not to shave his chest, and then he's like, why? And then he steps off camera and insinuates that he shows him his pubes or whatever, and they're like all crazy, because his hair's supposed to, grow back in like thicker and faster or whatever. Yeah. So I don't want to end up looking like Harry.
Well, that's not true. That's a myth.
Okay.
That's a myth.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it is. Because I shaved my ass once when I was like 13 and I should grow back thicker.
Wait, what?
I shaved my ass when I was like 13 years old. I want that shit to be smooth.
How could you even shave your ass?
In the mirror.
What did you use? Like a clipper or like
I fucking shaved that shit smooth,
like a razor.
Yeah, because my ass crack looked like a squirrel tail. So
this is way out. This is way more interesting than what I just talked about.
But that's it. No, it came back just the same way it always looked, and the squirrel tail lives on.
You can't I have a hairy ass, but when I feel my ass. Like
you don't feel it.
You don't feel the hair. You know what I mean? But then I look in the mirror, and that was another thing. Is I didn't know I'd be talking so much about me shaving my back. But when I did shave my back, I shaved down to where the line, your waist is or whatever. And then I looked at myself in the mirror after I took a shower, and it was like a sunburn line of like no hair to a decent amount of hair like underneath.
That's when you got to fade it.
Yeah, I think I do. I don't know. I have no idea.
Get the Brooklyn fade going on the ass, the blowout.
Women are going to see me at the beach next summer, and they're going to be like, "Damn, that guy's got a nice groom going on," and then be totally surprised when I see the rest later.
Yeah, there was like one summer when my brother lived in San Diego. I used to go out during the summers and visit him. You know what I mean? It was the beach life out there. And I would take girls with me, which is retarded, because why would I bring girls to San Diego with me 2 consecutive summers in a row? But I did, just to make sure I had, a steady piece of pussy while I was there, just in case things didn't work out. You know what I mean?
You're quite the romantic.
So, I know. So, I brought girls with me. And those 2 summers going to San Diego, I did shave my chest. You know what I mean? I was actually going to the gym at the time. I was in really good shape. So I did shave the chest.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I know, there's, I would think the majority of the girls would think that was corny, you know what I mean? Or, because it was before the whole metrosexual invasion and before all that shit. So this was like maybe the year 2000, 2001. But the girl I was with, who was a very attractive female, said, "No, I think it's nice that you take care of yourself."
Well, yeah, there is that camp. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to tell with girls. Because the thing is whenever you do something that you think is cool, there's always 50% of girls out there are going to be like, "No, that's corny."
Right.
Or another thing that a lot of girls, here's my experience. And I'm sure I'm wrong because I normally am when it comes to women. But I feel like a lot of girls just say what they think they should say, but not how they really feel, right? So they just kind of go with like the majority. So if the latest issue
Trend?
of fucking Cosmopolitan or whatever the fuck they read, you know what I mean, says that dudes with shaved chests are like shitty, like they, you shouldn't like that, whether or not they like it. You know what I mean? They're going to say that they don't like it because they feel like that's what everybody else thinks. Mm-hmm. When that might not even be the majority. It just might be some chick who works for Cosmopolitan? Cosmo? Let's just call it Cosmo because Cosmo says you're fat and I ain't down with that. So
yeah, I don't know. I thought I knew.
So fucking Cosmo, and I don't even know if that's still a fucking magazine, but whatever.
Is, but it's all advertisements. I was flipping through one on the shitter the other day.
Oh, really?
All advertisements. There's not one article in that bitch. I was sitting there reading eyeliner article, fucking
smelling fucking perfume samples.
Smelling, and fucking every page is just like, buy this, buy that, look like this, look like that. So I totally stand behind what you're saying because it's just.
Well, yeah, I mean that's all those magazines are. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to say that women, and I think men do this too. I'm not trying to say that women don't have a mind of their own because they certainly do. But I just think that like when women get into a group, if they're more apt to just say like, oh yeah, I think that's gross too, even if they don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then you find out when that women are they might say that they don't like something, but they really do. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. So you don't ever fucking know. You know?
Perfect example is all these like, you know, chick dudes these days that have, you know what I mean, have never even gotten their hands dirty, are growing these like rugged beards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So a perfect example being all these girls now finding beards to be sexy,
right,
when these little girly men are growing beards, and they're totally, you know, contradicting the whole point of having a scruffy beard, you know? But what I found was, I mean, shit, I've had a beard since I was like 6 years old. You know what I mean? I've always been a scruffy dude.
That is true.
But even before the beard,
although that was just a fake beard, but no, I'm just kidding.
Even before the whole beard, you know, phenomenon, I would say 85% of girls thought the scruff was nice.
The scruff is nice, yeah. But the full-on beard thing that's taken a hold of the nation. And here's it's a trend. I mean, that's the way trends go.
Like in the 1800s, dudes had beards.
But people are so and I say this all the time, and I always walk the line of not trying to be a contrarian. And I have, you know, friends will say like, dude, you're always against whatever the popular thing is. And it's not that I'm always against.
It's that people ruin that shit.
People ruin it, yes. But it's not that I'm against whatever the popular thing is. It's that I see the hypocrisy in it.
Right.
You know,
like I said, dudes with big, scruffy, manly beards that have never even gotten dirt on their fingernails.
Or the women that now like that, but they just like that because that's what Hollywood is pumping into their face.
Right. And then once a beard rubs up against their cheek, they're like, ew, stop that.
I used to have a girlfriend.
It itches.
I used to have a girlfriend. And I can't, I was about to say that I know that she's into beards now, and I don't know that. I'm guessing because
she's a trendy.
Because she's like a hipster chick, and you know, she's got all the tattoos now and fucking, you know, all that stuff. So I'm just guessing that she's into the beard thing. Mm-hmm. But when we were together, we wouldn't. There was no sexual contact until I shaved.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember being
that?
like, we were like drinking somewhere, and it was like 2 a.m. and you went in with some Barbasol and a razor. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I gotta get laid, bro.
Yeah. She would literally be like, and it's embarrassing to say that I was so passive about it, but yeah, like we would start making out, and she'd be like, "Your beard's too much, you know, go shave," and I'd be like, I really don't want to, but I also want to get laid.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I don't, you know, I don't know for sure. I wish I had solid concrete, but you know, but I know chicks that are like, just say like, oh, you know, if a guy doesn't have a beard, he, you know, that's it or whatever. And it's like,
wait, if he doesn't have a beard, it's a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You've heard girls say that?
I know one girl specifically who has said that to me before.
And you know she wasn't thinking that way in 2010.
Or 2013.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's
amazing.
It is just it's all advertising and marketing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's like here's the most amazing thing to me. And people get pissed when I say this because a lot of my friends are new parents, and but seeing this from afar always freaks me out, and it has nothing to do with the people that actually do it. It almost might be like a subconscious kind of thing. But this happens all the time, where a couple's having a baby, right? Mm-hmm. And then they come up with, I'm using air quotes here, mm-hmm. they come up with this unique name that they love, right?
Barkley or fucking Hudson or some shit.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. They come up with this name, and this is a unique name, right? So, oh man, you know, this is going to be awesome. We're going to name our daughter this, or our son this name. It's so unique. We don't know anybody with it, you know? Yeah. And then look back at the top baby names of that year. It's always that fucking name.
Yeah.
So okay, so how does this happen? This intrigues me so much. We have friends that have done it. We have people that we know that have named their kid what they thought was an original name, ended up being the most popular name that year. And so it's in the zeitgeist. I mean, it has to be. So like,
you know, those bitches are going online like, oh, what's the coolest name?
I don't know that.
Because how many kids right now in the age of 5 are named like Aiden, Baden, Jaden, Fladen, Gaden? It's like every kid is going to be that. You know what I mean?
Right. But everybody. What I'm saying is everybody that named their kid that, as far as I know, didn't think, oh, I'm now naming my child the most popular name of the year. They thought I'm naming my kid this new original name that I came up with.
Yeah,
but then at
they
the same,
kind of just
at the same time,
convince themselves that.
But yeah, but I mean, at the same time, but I
People
don't know.
have brains.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting there saying that these parents that name their kids this are like brainless fucking sheep. I'm not saying that because I'm sure that I might do the same thing. I just think it's so ingrained in the zeitgeist out there that you think you're coming up with something original,
right?
But you're not. You know what I mean? It's very weird the way that works.
Because they'll hear something that they think is original because they'll hear it on TV. And they'll think it's original, but really it's on TV.
Because then they don't remember where they heard it, maybe?
I guess.
But that's what I'm wondering about, because that's the part that intrigues me. What makes you think that you came up with an original thought?
Right.
But really, the rest of the world has been coming up with the same original thought, you know?
Well, because they didn't, it's not something that popped in their head. It's something they saw somewhere or heard somewhere, and they said, oh, I like that.
Right.
And then they just kept it and made it their own.
Okay, sure. And I would I would understand if this was the 50s and there was like 2 television channels and everybody watched I Love Lucy and they said a name and then the whole country went crazy, or if fucking Johnny Carson said something and but that doesn't happen anymore. There's so many outlets out there for entertainment and stuff and for and advertising for
right.
ways.
But when something's big and everybody hears about it or tells each other about it. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily saying that's what it is with names, but
the name thing particularly,
like, I can guarantee that any guy that had a son from 2010 to 2014 has named it Jackson from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
I'll put money on that shit. And because they think it was cool. Oh, Jax. I could call my kid Jax. You know what I mean? Like, they thought it was cool. But you know what? This actually brings up a really interesting thing that I got to give credit to my younger brother Joe for. Because before my grandmother had passed away, she was in a nursing home. So in a nursing home, when you walk down the hall, you see the names of all the people that are, like, say Blanche and fucking Rose are sharing room 103. On the door of room 103, it'll say Blanche and Rose.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So
first names or last names?
First names.
Okay.
First names and last names.
So when me and you are in our 80s and we're in a old folks home still doing this podcast, it's going to say Devin and Ritchie on there,
right? And
then hopefully underneath the awkward high five.
Yeah, and that's the phenomenon here, because me and Joe, you're walking down the hallway, and all these women are in their 80s, and it says Rose, Edith, Blanche, Esther.
Right.
And we're like, those are their names. So he says to me, you know what? When we're 85 years old, these hallways are going to say Tiffany, Brittany, Ashley,
Lindsay.
Yeah. And we're like, holy shit. I was like, damn. And, those are going to be the old people names that we see as old people names now. Like,
right.
The Edith of today is the Ashley of tomorrow.
Right, yeah. Well, okay, so the that Ashley Madison website?
Right.
So
it was named because those are the two most popular
because Ashley
names.
and Madison were the two most popular names that year whenever they came up with that the website. And the name Lindsay, so it's Lindsay, the name Lindsay's always been interesting to me because
of all the different spellings.
Not only all the different spellings, but I mean that might be the biggest boom of a name in our generation.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know more women named Lindsay than any other.
There's
name.
a lot of Megans too.
There is a lot of Megans. Megan's another big one. But I think in the early '80s, between 1980 and 1985, or maybe even 1987. I don't know this for sure, but at least in this area of the world, the name Lindsay has to be the most named. And,
a lot of Fleetwood Mac fans out there.
Well, the one Lindsay that I have an ex named Lindsay, and she spelled it E-Y-L-I-N-D.
That was after Buckingham, wasn't
and
it?
her mom actually named her after Lindsay Buckingham. But there's another girl that I'm good friends with that she spells it with 2 Y's, and then
two, okay.
And then there's another girl that I was friends with that I know that spells it with an A. And I mean, whatever, the spelling doesn't matter. But the thing is that all these girls are women now because they're in their 30s. But all these women are within a few years of each other. I've never even hung out in a room where there's been 3 Matts or Joes or Toms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've hung out in rooms where there was 3 or 4 Lindsays.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, when he said that, it kind of blew my mind because, you know, you can't picture like a decrepit 85-year-old woman named Brittany.
Well,
you know,
it's gonna happen.
That's great. Yeah,
I like the old names, you know, and I think that might be a trend too because when me and my last ex, who was and I don't know, I feel nutty about even thinking about this now, but for some strange reason, I guess because we were getting married, I started thinking about having children with her. Mm-hmm. Which, but
you really kind of do that with chicks,
yeah, no, I know,
I
yeah,
mean?
right.
It's like a getting to know you thing. Oh, what names do you like? Oh.
Well, no, like that was the first woman that I ever thought about procreating with that ever even popped in my head.
That you thought about with, but you know, you always have that convo. Like what names, not like what are we going to name our baby, but like what baby's names do you like?
Yeah,
that's kind of like a getting to know you convo.
Right, but I was getting a little bit more serious about it because I was thinking that this was
what you would actually name your child.
This was coming down the pike, right?
Gotcha.
And my main number one thing was I wanted to name her, if we had a girl, I wanted to name her Clarice.
Okay. That's a good name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah.
Number one, old style name that nobody uses anymore. Number two, Silence of the Lambs. Pretty fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the reason that she said no. She was like dead set against it, you know. But my ex girl.
Then she'll be just in school all day and kids are going to be saying, I smell your cunt.
Whatever, man. Maybe they do. The fairies have a fucking distinct smell. There's nothing you can do about it. My ex though, she definitely, and I'm not saying anything bad about her, but she was definitely the type of girl that was very
wanted to name Ashley or Madison.
Yeah, she would definitely go with the flow of what is popular. You know, definitely wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
You know, I actually had
in fear of what others would think, right? That's how I see it. I don't know her too well.
I know for you're talking about her.
Yeah.
Yes. Ding. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, Richard. I mean.
Thank you.
You hit the nail on the head, my friend.
Thank you.
But I think going back to this whole thing is I kind of think that is what whether they admit it or not, subconsciously or consciously, that is what happens. Is people are ultimately, and I find it very weird that you would take other people's opinions into the name of your child.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure people do consider, you know, is my kid going to get beat up over this name? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, yeah, you don't want to name them like there was that skinhead couple a couple years ago that actually named their kid Hitler. Do you remember
really?
that?
No, I didn't know about that. That's fucked up.
But, well, okay, it's fucked up, but here's two sides of it. Now, look, I'm not advocating naming your child Hitler. It's fucking, you're stupid if you do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, retarded.
I'll protect your right to do it, but you're stupid if you do it.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was Child Services took that kid away from this couple.
Yeah.
Now that, I think, so it's a weird study, and I actually read up on it because I was so intrigued on it for that reason. Is
like, were they neo-Nazis or?
Yeah, they were neo-Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's America. You have the right to be a neo-Nazi. You also have the right to.
But that can almost be considered a terroristic threat, no?
Not if you're not. No, I mean you have the right to.
Yeah, you have the right to march as a Nazi.
Yeah,
and
you
all
have.
that
Yeah,
crap.
I mean that is the part of living in America,
right?
You know, whatever other people think of it, whatever I personally think about it, or anything like that, doesn't matter. The point is, you live in America, which is a free society. You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. There's so many butthurt people these days. Everyone's offended. That offends me. That offends me. And like everybody's feelings are considered, and it's just everybody's just growing these little strawberry pussies with rainbow sprinkles on.
But that's the thing is, now my personal thought on the situation is, you're a fucking idiot for naming your kid Hitler.
Right.
Just solely for the fact that that's going to follow him through the rest of his life, you know, and then when he's 18 and he legally changes his name, he's going to fucking legally change it anyway because he's going to want to get a job someday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just being an idiot about that.
Yeah.
However, I also believe that unless they were bad parents, drug abusers, physical abusers, anything like that, there wasn't really any reason for the kids to take taken away. And I don't know how that ended. They might have gotten them back. I have no idea. I know it was a few years ago, but
yeah, I never even heard about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was an interesting study. I don't know. I think services are so quick to just jump in and grab something.
Yeah, because they got nothing else to do. You know what I mean?
Well, they do, because there's a lot of fucking kids out there that are being abused or fucking.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But I mean, I feel like they sweep that stuff up real quick, and then they're sitting there like, what else can we do? You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. Like you said, there's so much fucked up shit, but, you know, they're concerned with, you know, is the majority, like, not so much concerned with the people who it's actually happening to, but is there going to be a public outcry about this? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like they'll almost cover up those issues first.
Well, so this last summer that passed, the big news issue was every summer there's some ridiculous thing that the news just blows the fuck out of proportion.
To distract us from something.
Shark
more
attacks. Well, that's the conspiracy theory, and I do kind of
believe it.
I do kind of believe that too.
Yeah.
But that can be looked at as a conspiracy theory. Who knows? You know, if the media is really trying to cover up whatever. What I think is more plausible is the fact that the news companies just need fucking ratings, and so of course they're going to jump on something. Like a few summers ago, it was the shark attacks. You know, everyone's getting attacked by.
That was this summer.
Well, no, well, yeah, they did.
I guess it's every summer.
They went, yeah, right, because that sells. So that,
Yeah.
you know, the chances of you getting attacked by a shark is less than getting hit by lightning. But anybody who even comes close to even seeing a shark, if somebody goes and watches fucking Jaws on TBS, they'll fucking put it in the newspaper and make it seem like it's the biggest thing in the world. The thing this year was
Ebola. Oh no, that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago, which was another ridiculous thing. Remember they were following that like one doctor around in the city. It was like, he's on the subway now. He went bowling last night. Like, what the fucking, all right, he's got Ebola. He's bowling with Ebola. I guess
Yeah, bowling with Ebola.
No, this summer was children being left in hot cars with the windows up.
Right.
And look, it's just I'm sure that there are some negligent parents that have left their children in hot cars.
I've saved a child in a hot car. I don't know if the kid was dying, but she didn't do it on purpose. She accidentally locked him in there. But still, you got to be a fucking asshole to accidentally lock your kid in a hot ass car.
Right.
But it was just a good excuse to smash a fucking window.
When did this happen? Tell this story.
This was the summer of 2012. I was, I do the sprinklers during the summer. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Yeah.
So, I was working with my boy Tom, and we pulled up. Where were we? I thought we pulled up to like a park, but it might have been.
That would be a weird place to do it.
Because I remember there being a crowd of people.
Stay in this car. I'm going to go get on the seesaw.
I remember there being a crowd of people, so I don't think it was like a dead park somewhere. You know what I mean? I remember it was definitely a parking lot, in front of a store or whatever. But anyway. This woman's crying her eyes out. She accidentally locked her kid in the car with her keys in the car.
So she all right, so her kid was in the car. I'm gonna put this together here.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that she got out of the car and her intention was then go open the back door and get her child out. But before that happened, she closed the front door with the keys in the car.
Yep. So the kid
and this was an infant, obviously. This wasn't a kid who could go get the keys.
Yeah, it was strapped into a car seat in the back seat. So there's a whole crowd of people around it. There's kids, there's girls. The woman's crying her eyes out. So, me and my boy pull up in a truck full of tools. So let's smash some fucking windows. So I found out that smashing a window is not the easiest thing in the world.
They're thick windows.
I thought I was just going to have one little swoop and that thing was going to...
Oh, and you probably were like so stoked about it. Like, I'm just going to hit this thing big and like be the hero.
It took like 20 hits.
All right, that's what I was going to ask. How many fucking like soul crushing hits do you have to go through?
Honestly, it was probably like 6.
And were you getting frustrated?
I got to a point where I was like, damn, am I going to be able to break this fucking window? Is this kid going to die because I'm too weak to break a fucking window?
Yeah, right. You saw Karate Kid 2. You thought it was that easy to just punch
I thought I was
going to
chop that shit and it was going to be over. But no, I got it open and, saved the kid's life. Nah.
Was everybody clapping?
Yeah, she was happy. She was, thank you. No one was really clapping. Everyone kind of just walked away like, sweet. No one really gave a shit. You know what I mean? No one was clapping. But, she was crying. She was so happy. She was worried. She cared. It was just,
How old would you guess this mother was?
Young 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, I guess that happens.
Yeah, I guess
and,
so.
And it was a sweltering day, I'm guessing?
Yes. Right.
Sweltering. Yeah, and I get the whole thing. Like if you leave your child in a car in a 100-degree day and run and go and leave, with the windows up or whatever, you're a fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like you should definitely not do that. However, I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I grew up. I was a child in the 80s, and I remember specifically my mom leaving me in cars when she ran in to grab a prescription or whatever it was. I remember one time, she drove to the local supermarket, and I guess she had to just run in for one thing. And I must have been a little bit older at the time, so it makes more sense. I think I was probably like 8-ish or whatever.
Yeah, so you're able to get out of the car if you have to.
Well, but what happened was my brother was he was an infant. Well, not an infant. If I was 8, he was probably 3. And I remember we had a minivan. She drove up to the thing, and she's like, "I'll be right back." Jumped out of the car and didn't put the car in park. And we were kind of on a hill. So as soon as she jumped out of the car just started rolling backwards. And now I'm in this car, and she just ran inside.
And you're in the back seat, right? No one's in the front. Or
I might have been in the front seat. I might have been running shotgun because I was 8, But I
did that in the toll booth once, trying to get change.
but I had to friggin' jump over, and when you're a kid, it's not as easy as I haven't driven yet. I probably was never behind the wheel of a car, so now this thing was rolling backwards, and I had to jump over and hit the brakes and everything. But what I'm saying is, the media blew that way out of proportion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, you shouldn't leave your kid in the car, especially on a hot day.
But you don't need a news report to tell you not to do that.
Right. I mean, and they're going around.
And if you do, you're a basic bitch.
Well, also but I mean, it was almost like they had news teams out waiting, like
looking for trapped
like
kids?
if somebody would like drove up and did run inside for what was going to be 3 seconds to run back to their kid in the
Turn
time
them into public enemy number one.
The car could have never even cooled down from the air conditioning. You know what I mean? It would have taken longer to take the seat out and put the kid, hold the kid and bring all that thing and all that stuff back or whatever. Those people were being like outed and thrown on the cover of newspapers and the news and shit like that.
Like a witch hunt.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's just
we do a lot of those. I feel like it's a real modernized media witch hunt. We do it to people sometimes.
Of course,
you know what I mean.
And it all has to do with ratings.
Yeah,
I was listening to this comedian today, the other day, and he was. I don't know the guy's name, and it doesn't really matter. But the point of the story is that this guy, he was born in Queens, and then he grew up in Ireland, and he became a comedian in Ireland. And he's been all around the world. He was in China for a while, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And he said he gave 3 of them, but the one that intrigued me the most, he said I'll give you the 3 ways. The 3 ways that he said that the United States is worse than the rest of the world, and if they adopted it, they would be better. Is 1. Healthcare, which is just a no-brainer.
Right.
If you're one of these people that say, well, we should pay for healthcare because if we didn't, it would be less quality, you're a fucking idiot. Universal healthcare is the best possible thing in the world. Every other country in the world has it.
Right.
The second thing was, which I thought was interesting, but this isn't the one that really got me, was advertising drugs on television. So apparently there's no other countries. I think there might be one other country, but apparently there's no other countries that advertise like dick pills or whatever on television, which I think makes total sense because, I mean, that's all fear mongering to begin with. You know?
And it's amazing, those commercials. And you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not even going to say it.
Restless leg syndrome.
No, I have that shit. But no, like just the side effect list is
unbelievable.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, you're going to get an erection, but your liver is going to bleed. Your balls are going to fall off.
Right.
You're going to go bald. You're going to go cross-eyed. You're going to get, your nostrils are going to be one big nostril. Like,
or the number one thing that they all say at the fucking end.
Eternal bleeding, right?
No, death.
Yeah.
They all say or death. Yeah. Death is a fucking I'm sorry, but if there's any side effect, I don't care about the I don't care if it's 0.0000001%. And is death, I'm not taking it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it's always a medication for something really not that important.
Yeah, right.
Like baldness.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like these pills, I'm fucking getting older. I'm getting a little thin in the front of my hair and stuff like that. And I'm not going to lie, I've looked into that. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that much about it. Like, when I'm older and I'm bald, I'll be bald.
Just when you clean out your back hair shaver, just take those and sprinkle
it
in.
Yeah, right. But I've looked into it, like, just been like, oh, what are the options out there? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I want to keep what I have a little bit longer and stuff like that. And Yeah, I've read into every single one of those, and like I think the main one, I don't know the name of it. I think it starts at a P, but it's like a pill that people take. And
Paxil? I don't know.
Propecia, I think it is.
Oh, Proecia. Yeah,
something like
Propecia.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so this thing like it just makes you sterile for the most part.
Really?
And I'm not saying 100%, but I was like reading into
It probably just takes all your ball juice and puts it in your hair.
I guess. Well, I mean, that's what they say. They say baldness is like a testosterone thing.
Low T, yeah.
Whatever. But I didn't mean to get on this. But yeah. But I mean, if you care more about the hair on your head than your dick working, you have really crazy fucking
Seriously,
priorities.
it's a total hypocrisy because you want to keep your hair because you want to look good so you can get laid and then your dick doesn't work. So what the fuck are you going to do with that dick anyway? Yeah.
Right. Or just be a man and fucking shave your head and look good anyway. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Anyway, that's not what I'm pointing with. The third thing that this guy said, which has really made a lot of sense to me, is he said that no other country in the world starts talking about and advertising their political process years in advance.
Okay.
And that's what we do here. I mean, like we're now talking about the presidential election when it's a year away.
And we've been for a year.
Yeah, right. They're already having debates, and all these people get involved that aren't going to be around at the end and all that stuff. In other countries, that doesn't happen. They start talking about it like 3 months before the election actually happens. It isn't wrapped up in all this money. You don't have to spend spend $1 billion to become the president or the leader of whatever country and all that stuff. And but the reason that we do that here is because it makes the media and many other outlets, but mostly the media, money. Yeah. Because they know that they could advertise, they could talk about these debates, talk about these candidates that don't have, you know what I mean, and all those things, and they're going to get ratings, they're going to get viewers, and they're going to get money from it. Yeah, exactly. But it's the most fucked up thing in the world because it actually uses resources. Now, all these people are talking, like people are talking right now, like I'll talk to somebody and they'll be like, hey, well, what do you think about Donald Trump? And the thing is, like, you know what? I don't know, man. I'll worry about what I think about Donald Trump when he might actually be a contender for the, like,
it's like you said, half these people aren't even going to be in the running.
Right. It's all bullshit made to generate money that everybody just buys into. Yep. I don't know. Yep. That was
just like everything else we fucking do in this country.
And I've never thought about that before because I was so used to it growing up in this country. You know what I mean?
But it's definitely gotten a lot worse. You know what I mean? We didn't see, Bush and Dukakis bullshitting in '86. You know what I mean? That did.
Well, but they did, just not as much. Yeah, but there also wasn't as many media outlets then. The internet wasn't around. Yeah, there wasn't CNBC and all that, and all that stuff.
It was Eyewitness News or Zero. There wasn't even a Fox back then, I don't think.
Yeah,
Fox was like a new channel in the 80s.
Yeah, right, it was. Yeah, because The Simpsons, they started in like 86, and I was like one of the first Simpsons and Married with Children.
Yeah, like 87.
The first Fox programs.
Something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the thing. We don't think about that. But when you look at it from an outsider's point of view, like this guy brought up, that's what made it really interesting to me. It's true. There's no other reason. If you think that you're fact finding right now for who you're going to vote for president, you're fucking wrong. Yeah. You're just listening to companies that are exploiting people in order to make money for their vested interest. Yeah. Exactly. And it'll never end. And it's like the same reason that conspiracy theorists, which is this is another conspiracy theory that I kind of buy into. They believe that there are cures for a lot of major illnesses.
I totally believe that.
But right,
we can't put big pharma out of business.
But yeah, it'll never come around the way that it should because they don't want to go out of business. It's the same thing with these media outlets.
It's like that with pot, because of all the different things we can use pot for. That's why it'll never be completely legal.
Well, that's changing. I think that's the one thing that we're actually going to see change in our lifetime. Yeah. Well, the reason why is because the few states that have done it have shown such crazy economical growth from it that is literally the only thing that you need to do to get change fucking done in this country is show the people that they will make more money off it. That is it. Yeah. It's the saddest state of affairs ever. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a good system, but it's a true system, and slowly but surely you're seeing all these political figures that were against the legalization of marijuana now coming around to it. our wonderful governor of this state fucking is probably going to be.
Is he coming around?
No. I'm
yeah.
saying he's like he'll probably be like the last fucking
That
holdout.
fat fuck. He's disgusting.
I know, but yeah,
he is disgusting. I can't even look at that man.
It's hard to look at.
I don't even know his political views. I just know that I cannot look at his face. He makes me sick.
Right, it doesn't even matter what his political views are.
Right.
I mean, I know he's.
I need a good-looking governor.
I know he's a Republican, but he's very quick to jump over to the Democratic
He's like
side.
one of those dudes that used his mom's sayings. You know what I mean? Like
no, please.
Like one of those fat bastards that like would say things that his mom would say with a stern face. You know what I mean? To try and act like it's his own way to like teach you a lesson. You know? Ugh.
Like
I don't have an example.
Like your wings are clipped?
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Like what's good for the goose is good for the gander?
You know? Like he would just, because normally fat kids do take after their fat moms. And you know that dude has the fattest fucking mother there is. I hate him.
You heard that here, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Christie has the fattest fucking mother there is. He is the fattest mother there is.
You know, he's like one of those fat kids that looks like his fat mom and says things that his fat mom would say.
I don't like the if you're a fat dude, and I don't know if Chris Christie is a fat dude from genetics or he's a fat dude from.
You know, he's got a fat ugly mom. He looks like his fat ugly mom.
Yeah,
I bet you put a wig on him, he probably looks exactly like his fat ugly mother. I guarantee it.
But I don't like the I don't like the losing weight thing, because like with Christie.
Yeah, but he'll just be a turtle out of the shell.
That's what I'm saying. He's losing weight, and now I'm throwing up the air quotes here. He's losing weight. He's never gonna get down to a respectable weight. He's past that point. I mean, he's in his 50s, I'm guessing. You know, and he's whatever.
He'll always be gross.
But yeah. So at that point, just fucking stay fat, because you're literally just getting the saggy skin thing going, which I think is worse than being fat. Just be fat.
The turtle out of the shell. Disgusting. Where like your neck is all skinny, but then like your belt is you look like a Christmas tree ornament. Fucking gross. Just fucking gross.
Yeah,
he looks like Luca Brasi from The Godfather.
Well, I think that's what he wants to be. He wants to, you know what I mean? That's another thing.
Jersey dude.
Do every fucking politician we have in Jersey have to be some stupid fucking Sopranos motherfucker?
Yeah, Sopranos, Springsteen fan.
Yeah, right.
Bruce.
Well, I like the fact that Springsteen would like a while ago, Christie said that he was the biggest Springsteen fan, and Springsteen was like, "Fuck you, dude."
Good.
I don't want to be fucking associated with your ass.
Good.
It's
Thank
like
you, Springsteen.
Springsteen's great when it comes to that.
Yeah,
and I'm not telling Springsteen.
He's like the Dusty Rhodes of music.
Here's my. I guess I'm gonna just tell my Springsteen thing here.
Okay.
Growing up, I never liked Bruce Springsteen.
No.
I couldn't fucking care about him.
Me neither.
Don't give a shit about him, right?
And the fans make him worse.
But here's the thing. I find myself defending that motherfucker because I'm from New Jersey. and I know it's the most like stereotypical fucking thing in the world. I don't do it to Bon Jovi.
I was going to say, do you do it to
I
Bon?
don't.
Bon?
I don't give a fuck. If somebody wants to speak ill of Bon Jovi, I let them. They can. Yeah. But if you're from
gross. He needs an ass shaver. I seen that man's ass crack in Subway. Disgusting. He's got a fucking like muskrat coming out of his pants. Like Bon Jovi. Put away the skinny jeans, bro. Your ass crack's hanging out.
It's his life, though, man. It's now or never.
Disgusting.
He isn't gonna live forever. But fucking. What was I gonna say?
How you defend Bruce?
So if I'm like I worked in New York City for a long time, and a lot of people there were from New York City, and one of the pastimes of people from Manhattan and the outer boroughs is to make fun of New Jersey. I guess it makes them feel better about themselves. And there would be some Bruce bashing going on, and I would get offended and start fucking
standing up for the boss.
Defending Bruce, a guy who I never even listened. I don't give a shit about Bruce.
He's
Springsteen.
fine on his own. He's the boss. You don't have to stick up for the boss.
Yeah, I just feel like I need to represent that dude, even though I think I like his his very first album when he was still like a singer songwriter. But I don't like Dancing in the Dark. Who the fuck likes Dancing in the Dark?
That was like his rendition of Pat Benatar.
But I defend another thing that I say to people from New York that make fun of New Jersey is make fun of it all you want. Just please don't ever come here.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to
clogging up the streets.
You want to make fun of it? That's fine, man. I'll listen to it. Yeah, I know it's the armpit of the world. I know it smells like shit on the turnpike, and I know there's garbage dumps, and I know blah blah blah. Or the Jersey. My favorite thing. And I'm not, and I don't want to come off like I'm some fucking like Jersey supporter strong. Because there's a lot of things about New Jersey I don't fucking like either. But they always say the Jersey Shore. There's 2 motherfuckers on the Jersey Shore that are from New Jersey. The rest of them are from fucking New York.
Oh, the TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
They're always like, oh, all those Goombas down there. All those Goombas down there are from your fucking neighborhood that drove down here. If you come down to any of these beach towns, like the town that we live in, or even further on the beach, like let's take Seaside for example, the place that the Jersey Shore show was shot. If you're go there right now in fall or the winter, there's just going to be nice old people there, and a couple of cool mom and pop places, and you're not going to see any blowout hairdo or muscles or
tribal
tanning
tats
or any of that for miles and miles and miles. You're going to see people riding bikes and fucking enjoying the scenery, and it's like a nice beach town. Then fucking May comes around, and all the Guidos from Staten Island and Long Island and all those places now come. That's what happens, and everybody knows this.
I think the closest one to a Jersey Shore person was fucking Sammy from Hazlitt.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody else was from Jersey Shore, right? They were all from...
The situation is from Manalapan.
Right.
Or Manalapan, as some people... I hate when people say Manalapan. But yeah, the situation was from Manalapan. Sammy was from our hometown that we're sitting in right now, Hazlitt, New Jersey. And that was it. The rest of them are from New York. Yeah. So that was all, the Jersey Shore, all the fucking Guidos, blah, blah. And that was my thing. Just, make fun of it all you want. Just don't ever come there. I don't know. Any last words for this episode, Richard?
No, I think I felt good doing a little venting today. It felt good.
Yeah, we got a little, we started kind of screaming in each other's faces for a little bit.
I like that.
About Bruce Springsteen
the boss.
And children locked in cars.
And fucking Chris Christie looking like his fucking fat, disgusting mother.
I didn't know you hated Christie so much.
No, it's not so much just Christie. I just hate fat people that look like and talk like their fat mothers.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it. So I forgot to announce the phone number, but if you want to give us a call and leave a message, 607-319-A-HIGH-5. That's 607-319-AHI-5 or 2445 if you want to go the number route. And you could email us at awkwardhigh5podcast@gmail.com.
Dev will be checking those emails. I don't know how to check them.
Yeah, I'll be checking them because Rich doesn't have a way to actually check emails.
But if you leave a message on an answering machine, maybe I could check that.
There's no answering machine.
No answering machine?
Well, answering machines are voicemail now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's no actual tapes. Do you know? I found I should probably talk this off the air, but I don't care. I found a fucking tape in. I was going through old stuff of mine, and I found a tape, and I was listening. I found a few tapes. Some of them were band stuff and stuff like that. But I found one. And I put it in, and it was the cassette tape from one of my old answering machines when I was like in my teens. Yeah, it's crazy.
I still remember an excellent answering machine thing that you made when I was over one day. And, it was like the whole, calls back, you reached whoever. But in the background, you played Woodpeckers from Mars by Faith No More. And just the way you laid it out, it was so sweet. I was like, damn, that was the best answering machine message I ever heard.
I missed that like making. I mean, I guess you can make a creative voicemail, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like you could actually produce and edit answering because it was on a tape.
Yeah, it was excellent.
You could, So anyway, again, if you want to call it 607-319-AHI-5, A-High-5, or awkwardhigh5podcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys back on the next podcast that we do, which would be episode 11.
We're getting up there.
Yeah. And see you later.
It's your taste and your see-through clothes, the way you smell and the way you roll. I know it's a crime to bring you around. Your beauty can increase by the pound. Hey lover, where did you go? You were with me at every show. If I had one wish, I'd want to kiss you in your tight white dress. So many smoke-filled years have passed, wrapped in paper inside glass. My eyes were red when you were here, but now you're not and they're clear, my dear. Hey lover, where did you go? I'm not high and I'm not...
Thanks for listening to the Awkward High Five podcast. For more episodes, visit awkwardhigh5.com.